Captain America 4, which I believe was originally supposed to come out in like late 2023, then talk about being moved to 2024, and now we know it's not coming out until 2025. Apparently, according to Deadline, you can check this out, Captain America Brave New World hires scribe Matthew Orton for additional shooting planned. They're not even going to start doing the reshoots on this thing until like 6 months after it was originally supposed to come out in theaters. This is what they wrote. With plenty of time until its February 14th, 2025 theatrical release, Marvel Studios' Captain America Brave New World has hired Matthew Orton to pen additional scenes and material. Orton will work on material that will be shot in additional photography, which will take place in the spring/summer of 2024, we understand. Now, if some of you might be asking the question to yourselves right now, who is Matthew Orton? Well, you're probably not alone, because he's not what you would call a tremendously experienced writer. When I go over to his IMDb, he's got the grand total of 3 credits. He wrote, honestly, a nice little movie called Operation Finale with Ben Kingsley and Oscar Isaac, which I thought was, it wasn't great, but was pretty good. He did 1 episode of Moon Knight, and depending on what episode that was, I'm not really sure. And then he worked on this television series called Devil's Peak, which I don't believe is on any North American network. I could be wrong about that, but I couldn't find it anywhere I looked around. But this is who they're bringing on to do some additional writing for it. Now, what I think is the more interesting aspect of this story, though, is I believe this is 100% a repercussion of Kevin Feige getting his authority back. I really do. Now, of course, because under the Bob Chapek era with his banker buddy running making all the decisions for Marvel and taking away most of Kevin Feige's ability and power, the idea of how much stuff had to be made, where it had to go, how quickly it had to come out, and all that kind of stuff. I honestly think that, as we saw with Daredevil, that, you know, now that Kevin Feige's got his power back, Kevin Feige has the power to say, you know what, I don't like the way this is going. Mm-hmm. Let's scrap what we're doing. Let's reevaluate, recenter, and remount. And put out a Daredevil series that is closer to the quality that people have come to expect from Marvel over the years and not in the last couple of years. And I honestly think that's kind of the same thing that's happening here with Captain America. I think this is a sign again that Kevin Feige's got his authority back. That he now has the authority to look at and say, I don't like the way this is shaped up. This isn't exactly what I wanted. And I no longer have Bob Chapek saying, who cares, just get it out. I now have bosses again who are going to let me make the decisions for Marvel Studios and our content. And I don't want to put something out to the public that I don't feel good about. And I don't feel good about this. Let's stop it. Let's make some changes. Let's remount and get something that we're all really proud of out. Now, still, the fact that they had to move it all the way to 2025 seems like a bit of a stretch. But at any rate, Chris, you know, we've heard a lot coming out. Some people even speculate they're going to reshoot 80% of the movie. I have heard that that's not true. But still, clearly, Kevin Feige's not happy with it. They're going to make changes. I mean, they've worked with this Matthew Orton guy before. At first, I had to do a double check because my brain interpreted what I read as Randy Orton. Mm-hmm. And I thought Captain America's going to RKO people left, right, and center. He's just running around. But I mean, he wrote 1 episode of Moon Knight, I guess. Is this the right move for them right now? How do you feel about it? Guys, we want to take a second to thank a sponsor of today's video, HelloFresh. With HelloFresh, you get farm-fresh, pre-portioned ingredients and seasonal recipes delivered right to your doorstep. Skip trips to the grocery store and count on HelloFresh to make home cooking easy, fun, and affordable, and that's why it's America's #1 meal kit. Say hello to a stressless holiday season with the help of HelloFresh. Skip the grocery store and save time with easy, tasty recipes delivered right to your door. Because 'tis the season for giving and gathering, and with HelloFresh, it can also be the season of saving. Actually, save money this month with fresh recipes delivered cheaper than takeout, and with pre-portioned ingredients, you'll never waste money on excess food again. You know, guys, I've often talked about that Ann and I are both working professionals, and it can be a struggle around dinner time to get healthy and delicious meals put together. But with HelloFresh, they make it easy, they make it fun, and they make it delicious. So guys, go to HelloFresh.com/CampeaFree and use the code CampeaFree for free breakfast for life. 1 breakfast item per box while subscription is active. That's free breakfast for life at HelloFresh.com/CampeaFree with the code CampeaFree.
Well, he's done a few other things. We always need to keep in mind with writers too. What we see on their IMDb is what has been purchased and come to fruition. A lot of times too, writers' scripts get bought up and then they are never made. We've seen this with a lot of people. The writer of Bullet Train and Last Voyage of the Demeter, tons of scripts sold before those things came to fruition. So probably has written a few more things, but these are what we know. And just for everyone's edification too, Devil's Peak is on Mnet, which is a South African channel. Okay. It's a South African series. That all being said, I am trying to fill time so I can tread lightly on this topic because I have a source I don't want to reveal. A lot is going to be changed on this film, I think. I think a lot of things are happening here. What I'm excited about is that this shows they have faith in the project rather than completely scrapping it. Because if that were the case, we wouldn't be bringing in a writer, and we've seen this with other studios, they'd be going for the tax break rather than investing more time and money into this. So it does make me optimistic that we're not giving up on this film. I do just hope they figure out what they need and find their footing. Because I really want to see Anthony Mackie shine. I love Sam. I absolutely adore him. And I really want him to have his moment in the sun. So I'm hoping that these rewrites come out really, really well. At least what this gentleman has worked on too. You know, we have the one episode with Moon Knight, but a lot of what he's done is a lot of kind of intrigue, high stakes thriller kind of stuff. So I'm hoping that's the right kind of thing we need to just inject into this movie. Because I think that's what was so successful in the other Captain America films, right? In Winter Soldier
especially.
Right? Having that kind of 70s spy thriller feel worked so well in that. And I'm hoping they can kind of capture that lightning in a bottle again with this. And I hope these rewrites make it better than what it could be. I definitely am nervous about what's already been put together just because I know they're not happy.
Right, and it means too, because you mentioned it shows confidence in it, but it also shows their belief that it can be financially successful. Because if they didn't believe this movie could make money, then they wouldn't go and drop another $75 million into it and take all this more time, right? I mean, and listen, this is not very different from what happened to Warner Brothers with the cancellation of Batgirl, right? This is basically Kevin Feige doing the same thing, saying this is not good enough to put out. The difference is they've got a property like Captain America that they believe can absolutely make up for any additional money they put into it, as opposed to Batgirl, which, well, look at the financial results of all the DCU movies that have come out in the last 7 years. None of them are going to make money. So there was that. But I love the fact that Kevin's doing this, and let's see if we get the results that we really, really want. Hey guys, thanks so much for watching this video. Make sure you like the video, leave a comment, and subscribe to our channel. And don't forget, we have a daily podcast called the John Campea Show podcast, available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or your favorite podcasting app of choice. Go and subscribe to it today so it'll be there when you need it.